Point of order. I find Mr. Volk's continue interrupting of me personally offensive, and the terminology that he uses to do it, I also find personally offensive.
After a combative debate, Senate Bill 1610 advanced out of a House committee along party lines.
Members, by your vote of 8 ayes, 6 nays, 1 absent, you have given Senate Bill 1610 a do-pass recommendation.
Opponents of the bill, like the Democrats and the ACLU of Arizona, argued the proposal will lead to racial profiling and mass deportations.
The bill will facilitate the deportation of people who have no criminal record. The bill requires no conviction, not even a charging document, for ICE to be notified of someone's arrest.
Republicans countered that it won't lead to profiling because the law applies to every jail inmate, regardless of race. As for mass deportations, Representative Alexander Culloden claimed that is exactly what Arizona voters want because they backed President Donald Trump last year.
So there was no doubt as to what people were voting for when they voted for Donald Trump. And the people of Arizona decided to vote for mass deportations. Why should this body stand in their way?
The immigration proposal is one part of the GOP's overall immigration agenda. It's unclear if Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs will sign the legislation. Hobbs has repeatedly vetoed Republican-backed immigration bills over the past 2 years, but she recently supported the federal Laken Riley Act, which passed with the support of Arizona's 2 U.S. senators, Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego, a fact that the bill's sponsor pointed out.
I believe that the other bills will be certainly vetoed. So I'm running this bill in the hopes that since Democrats do support it, it was co-sponsored by a Democrat U.S. Senator from Arizona, that I can get this bill passed.
And since that bill did pass the House committee, it now heads to the floor for a full vote of the House. And if it passes there, it'll end up on Governor Katie Hobbs' desk for her signature or her veto. Guys?
GOP majority on both sides, House and Senate. It's going to make it to her desk, don't you think?
It'll likely make it to her desk.
This is a push comes to shove.
Yeah, and I was talking, it puts her in an interesting situation. Like I was saying before, basically, you know, Hobbs comes out, she says, I support the Laken Riley Act, and then Kavanaugh comes back and says, okay, prove it.
Right.
Here's this legislation right there. And it's going to be interesting to see what she does, because she does face, looks like could be a pretty tough fight for re-election next year. The governor's already indicated, tried to show that she is a lot stronger on the border than she was in previous years. So this is something that's definitely on her mind. And if you look at the results of last year's elections, it certainly looks like the voters wanted something done down at the border.
Couldn't she just say we have it on the federal level, we don't need a redundant law on the state level?
Yeah, and she could say that. And the question is, though, politically, how does that play out in a campaign next year? That could go a lot of different ways with that, with her opponents, you know, marking all this stuff down, and can easily get hit with that tag and ads that she doesn't support tough immigration enforcement or border security.
Looks like it's going to happen. We'll see what she does. Thank you, Dennis.
Very interesting. Thanks.